Hey, good evening. Welcome back to Break Hard Orchard. Today I am up here working on the tractor. Now I'm fortunate that I parked it in the shade so it's not a seething hot mass of metal. It's been in the shade for a couple days. I have what I believe are the parts necessary to repair the air conditioning. What I needed was a pulley and a bearing. I actually found the old pulley that came off in the field, so I probably could have just bought a bearing, and at 10 bucks maybe. Anyway, I'm in it for about $44 on that. But I got to press the bearing in. I've got this vise that goes into the tailgate of my truck. I was able to use it to press the bearing in flush, but it has to recess about another 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch, and there's a little retaining clip that goes in there and holds it in place. That retaining clip is in the old one. If you do this, make sure you get the retaining clip. So I need something that will push it in, and I think I have found a set of washers here that actually is the right size. I've got a bigger washer I'm going to put against the back so it doesn't deform with this little grid pattern that's on here. And I'm going to give it a little push. I've got this slightly smaller one. It'll still put pressure on. So my big concern here is that if I'm not putting pressure on that silver metal on the outside, that I'm going to put pressure on that part right here. And that part is a softer, it's almost rubberized. It's a softer material. I'm afraid that'll just get pressed out the other side, and then it'll break the bearing and we're back to square one. This one moves a little bit, but I think that's because this is canted as it goes in. I don't really want to get this stuck, but I'm gonna start off with that one. Take a little washer sandwich. Washer and pulley sandwich. Here we go. Let's turn that in a bit. Let's see what we get here. Back off, don't want to go too much. I'll make sure that see it's still moving inwards, which is nice, and the pulley still turns. Doesn't spin exactly, but it's not getting pushed out the other side. So that's really what I need. Of course, you probably can't see much here. I can see I've still got a little space right there to go, just a tiny bit of space I've got to fill in. And there is a groove that sits right in here that I need to fill with a clip. Now, if I can fill it with that clip right now, I might just stick that clip in it and be called it a day. This is the old pulley that I took out of there, and you can see the disintegrated bearing is still in there, but this clip right here, I need to get that clip out of here. Never wants to come out easy. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. Probably needed a different pair of pliers to do it. Hey, darling. It's slow.
Okay. So let me see your bumper.
Got a camera right here. Camera's going. Bumper's right here.
Oh.
I may have done that with the trailer. I don't know. I may have jackknifed the trailer. I mean, I was going slow. It might be a compression dent, but it's a dent just the same. So we have this item right here has to come out. On the back side of it, you have one nut holding this bolt on. That's a 17 millimeter. All right, so I got the nut. Let me see if I can capture any washers. So there's a dearth of washers. I got a couple different washers here. That's how they look. I'm gonna take a quick break and go help my wife start this tool she's over there struggling with. Hey, baby. Let me help you with that. The issue I've got right now, I got two things. I don't want to lose the orientation that these washers went on here, and I don't want to lose the nut that goes on the back of it. As I mentioned, that wasn't even tight. when I pulled it off of there. I mean, there was some tension on it, but it really wasn't very tight. So this is the inside of the remnants of that bearing. That groove right here is where those ball bearings used to sit. And it was a sealed bearing, and it disintegrated. The ball bearings came out and they're gone. And this has to come off. So if I take these off, set them aside, I know how they go, and I can always come back to the tape and check it, but I know how they go. Right? Clean that up a little bit before I put it back on. This piece right here, this piece has to come off. Now, something like this, where I can put it in the vise and squeeze it a little bit and start getting that off of there, is probably the best way to go. And it wouldn't hurt to have some oil on there. So this will work. I can probably, well, no, I really can't. I got two of them to work with. That ain't gonna be enough. I can probably tap it out. Let's find out. So I might be able to tap this thing out of here. How about that? For every problem, there is a solution. You just got to find it. So, that's good. That is the busted up old bearing. That's what's left of it. Now, we need to we got two things we're gonna have to do. The first is we got to take this one, put back in here, right? Well, that's gonna go back in that same spacer. So maybe I can cap it back in. There we go. That's another problem solved. And it rotates. It does not just spin, I gotta say that, but it does rotate. Seems like it's gonna drive a lot of heat, so I'm just gonna go right ahead and I'm gonna photograph the numbers that are on here, and I'm gonna find myself another bearing, because I got a feeling this is gonna be a repeated experience somewhere in the ownership of this tractor. I still don't have the proper tools to get that clip out of the old one. So I'm gonna have to take this home and work on it at home. I got a pair of pliers that'll take that right out of there. I don't have it with me. If I can drag my bride away from the edge of that pond with that weed eater, we can probably go home and have something to eat. I'm gonna get back up here early tomorrow. It's the 4th of July weekend. So we're gonna get that tractor ready to rock and roll, because we have to use it up on the home site. I believe we're putting a beam in this weekend. That's very exciting for us. Can't wait to get going on it. So you have, this is the entire pulley assembly. And I've got this clip. That was the clip I was trying to get out of the other one yesterday. This thing spins. It doesn't just whiz, but it does spin when you put a little pressure on it. You got this nut that goes on this bolt. You'll see that there's a flat spot here on each side, little flat spot. There's a slot in the tension bolt that it goes into, and it stays in that tension bolt. And then to move it backward and forward, you tighten or untighten another set of nuts. This is a spacer. This spacer goes in here. The bearing spins, and this holds it off of the metal bracket so it doesn't have any problems wearing on that. This, after it goes through that bolt that's in there, that tension bolt, this washer goes on, then this split ring washer, and then this nut. You tighten all that down, it holds it in place with the belt around it. So this comes in and out because there's nothing on the back side of this piece of metal here. It's just these two nuts right here, this one and this one, that keep the depth of this tension bolt set. Alright. If I can maneuver this silly thing. Maybe I'll just turn this. There, it goes like that. I might actually be able to get this thing on here. Well, I wouldn't say a full-on miracle, but it is surprising. Get that washer on there. And split ring washer. And then start trying to put this here. I guess it spins unless you get that bolt through that tension bolt in that little squared space. Looks like it's got a good amount of tightness to it. So I might actually get this puppy back in operation today, which would be great. It's on there pretty snug. I don't want to cause problems with that thing turning. I'm gonna turn this thing on and see if we fixed it. All right, here's the moment of truth. I don't hear any terrible noises. I just pushed the AC button. That's definitely chilled air. So, the AC is working again, which means this tractor is usable in the summertime because without it, you can hang it up. Oh yeah, that's nice and cool. So that's fixed. It's pretty darn good. I'm pretty happy about that. All right.